I apologize, but honestly, this is for the love of friendship and all. Otherwise, I really have no business being here today. I've been in the board meeting since morning and ran into another meeting and dashed on my way here. Anyway, I'm here. So, what are we talking about? I'm just fooling around. Okay. Honestly, when we get to all these kind of sessions, and you've had all the speakers you've had since morning, it's a challenge being the last speaker without repeating what everybody else has said. Okay? So, we're not going to do that. I'm going to turn this on his head. And what I'm going to do, turning it on his head, is all the grammar that's, we've spoken here since morning, all the different things that have been shared with you. Tell me, I'd like you to think about it for a minute and think of, okay, I've listened to all this, but this is why I can't go forward. Okay, they said this. Toyin came with all this fantastic story of being an architect and now he's an oil guru. So what happens to me? Or this is where I am and I'm stuck here. How do I move to the next level? So those are the things I want to talk about. And we can say it better if we have case studies. And your life is the real case study. So tell me any of those kind of things that you've been dealing with since you came here and listened to all sorts of things. Because we waste our time investing our time doing this because we believe in the country and we believe in the next generation. But if you don't work out of it and knowing exactly what to do or what to change to move forward, we're wasting our time. That's the honest truth. So I'm all for practical application of issues, not grammar. So, Eddie, you're going to be the first taker. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dideolu. Okay, I met her 3 years ago, and I was looking for a job, and I'm 25 in 4 days, and yesterday night, I cried myself to sleep, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to be 25. What have I achieved? Nothing. I have an OND and trying to get an HND. I don't like 9 to 5. It's not like I don't like authority, but it's just that I can't be kept somewhere. I like to talk. Yes. I like to talk. I can walk up to you, I can walk up to him, I can walk up to anybody and just ask you your name. I know how to organize things. But I have a weakness. Is that I think that my strength is my problem. Because I know how to do those things, I know how to talk to anybody. Sometimes I am insolent. I don't know how to tame myself. I am shy. And then I've been fortunate to meet people who, the word is, they love me too much, so they condone me sometimes. So today I'm asking, I know the things I am good at. How do I move forward?
Okay. Let me ask you a question. The things you're good at, what have you ever thought on your own you could do with them?
Events.
Events management.
Events. I'm a coordinator. I don't know how to do pen and paper. I don't know how to, but I know how to bring all the things you write on a paper and make them come together.
So when you say that, events is one expression of that. Project management is another expression of that. General coordination, which means that if you take the time, what you have is a management skill, is to get things done and all of that. In what area? See, I can keep asking 10,000 questions. But frankly, it's because half the time you have the answers within you, or you know the answers, you just haven't been bold enough to answer them. So sometimes asking you the question deliberately and making you answer is so you can give your answer, not my answer. Because I could answer it for you, but I don't know you, and I'm not you, and I'm not in your total circumstance. So my answer will be different from your answer. So you get an idea from my answer, but my answer will not solve your problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. So of all those kind of things, what have you done with it yourself?
I've coordinated a few events.
Okay.
A lot of events.
Okay, so what's wrong with that? Why aren't you moving forward with that?
I'm a freelancer right now, but I'm moving forward in life. I want stability.
So you want stability?
Yes.
But as a freelancer, you think there's no stability in that?
Stability.
Okay, so what does stability represent for you?
What does that? I need to take that because that's because somebody else.
See?
Everyone, yes. Guarantee is.
Yes. It represents, okay, since she's your mentor, she probably understands that. Okay, so you need a certain amount of money
coming in from somewhere every month.
Okay, and how do you expect that money to come from? It's not going to drop from heaven.
Yes, I want to work for it.
You want to? Yeah. Yes. 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 Now, being insolent is a choice. That's the honest truth. Because you can feel at liberty. You can be bold and courageous. You can walk up to me, walk up to Taya, walk up to Lamide and talk to anybody. And that's fine. And few people have that. So that's a major strength. Because courage is very lacking in this part of the world. The average American child is quite bold. Because it's just the way they're nurtured to be able to speak their mind very quickly and challenge adults and ask questions. But here, we don't look at adults in the eyes because it's considered rude. Yet, if you go to school abroad and you don't, they soon think that you're a timid person because you don't. But they don't realize it's a cultural issue. So few people are really naturally courageous here because we're not nurtured from the beginning to be like that. So if you have it, it's a strength. And it puts you at an advantage, but it doesn't give you an excuse. So when you say willfully I'm insolent, that's a choice. And at 25, you're not a child anymore. So you've got to know between what is right and what is wrong. And you have to be, how do you say, diplomatically correct, if that's the word. Which means that, yes, you can walk up to me and say, good morning, Mr. Awosika, my name is this and all of that. And I'll say, oh, hi, how are you? But you can't say, oh, your shirt is nice. We don't have a rapport. I don't know you well enough. My sister can do that. Even my mentee who is close to me can say, Auntie, your color should be like this. Because there is relationship. Now, what you will call insolence is forwardness. But natural discipline and understanding of what is good behavior is the cure for insolence. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you have to deliberately decide, what I have is a strength. What can turn it into a disadvantage? I must deal with. And in dealing with it, you take deliberate decisions not to get into that. Now, I don't want to be caged. What does that mean? Because there are workplaces where you have liberty, even though it's 9 to 5. If you work in a team, if you get into a place and you prove yourself to be proactive and someone that delivers results, you will find a lot of people that would, especially even in the kind of business that you're working on. We have a close friend who has the most successful event management company. I think Dideolu was here today. No, she's coming. Okay. She'd come earlier. Now, in Yoruba's office, they have different teams for different events. Is she the one running 10 events? No. If they have 10 events running within a week, there are different people in charge. Which means if you prove yourself to be independent and reliable, you can work in an organization like that, yet you're leading your own team and you have the independence to express yourself. Do you understand? Not wanting to be caged does not mean you must not learn to submit to authority. Because in life, you can't succeed in that. Do you understand? And worse still, you are a Nigerian woman. Naturally, you are caged into submission. Yeah, let's deal with this. Do you understand? But it's not such a bad thing. We're submitted women. I'm a fully submitted wife. But yet, I can be on the plane every week. Understand that? Do you understand? There's wisdom of submission that makes you able to achieve what you're supposed to achieve without compromising God's plan for you. Now, the real catch is you and I cannot be wiser than God. And God had a reason for putting submission in the Bible. And beyond that, he knew there will be bosses and there will be servants. Which means that you must, as a person, learn to submit. If you can't submit to man, you can't submit to God. Do you understand? So you have to deliberately, it's your place of humility and your place of learning. As I'm standing in front of all of you, if I choose to kneel down for my husband in front of 10,000 people, I have no qualms. That's just, I'm telling you. But does it change who I am? No. I'm every inch the woman I am, and I can do everything that I want to do. And when I get into a place where there's some authority, I'm authority when I get to the chair center room. If I'm sitting at a board where I'm chairman of, I have authority. But every Oga has Oga. Next question.
Yes. Come forward, but there was a lady here. We're going to take 4 case studies. So you better come again to that.
The women are winners today. I went to somewhere in between, and there was girls. They beat the boys by.
Thanks for the privilege. Okay. I said, what if you, had written it down, what if you discover that you have conflicts with people, which means that you might not be employable? And earlier, Lamidi was talking about a lady who worked in a woman.
Who is Lamidi? She can't be you. If we're in Igbo land, I'm tolerated, but in Nigeria, I don't. Mrs. Balogun. No, but see, me, I'm not nice when it comes to those kind of things. Because the things we know that we don't share and teach you, we will only get you into trouble. Because that day might not say anything here, but I know her, she would answer you at the right time. But what you would have done, I'm being honest with you, because that's why I said, practical application is what makes all the difference, because I'm tired of talking. What will happen is, after you've done that, if she sees you outside, and then you are looking to talk to her, you say, oh, that lady, she'll smile, and she'll walk away. Because obviously, that's already put you in a category, and you've isolated yourself from an asset or an opportunity. This is true. I was at Harvard last week at their African conference, and I think they have all these leaders of their team and all of that. And I think one of the people that was communicating with me is a Nigerian. She had an Igbo name. She said an email. Hi, Ibukun. But at first I thought, okay, you're not there. Then I got there, and I saw the girl about this size exactly. And then she had the audacity as well within the thing. I think after I finished my session, she was saying, oh, Ibukun, that was fantastic. And I thought to myself, this girl is a Nigerian girl. Need I break her head for her to understand that we am yes? No, it's true. Let's call a spade a spade. If you walk in an office, my younger sister, when she was working at GT and they said everybody called Fola, I called her. I called her, I said, come. You didn't meet Dideolu or Fola at GT. The day I hear you join, I will kill you myself because I cannot call them by name. So understand this. It is not natural to us. Your body will cringe. You will tolerate it if the environment forces you to. But you know what will happen? Some wise boy or girl there will refuse to do it and still give people that respect. And when they need to favor one or the other, they will favor that person against you. Do you understand? So I didn't mean to embarrass you, but I teach with every little thing that I can. And I'm saying this so that you know. Always understand your own context. It's a critical lesson for life. Your context is you're Nigerian, you're African, even if you become white tomorrow, anyhow, you're still who you are.
This is Balogun now. She said earlier on that the lady, someone worked in a human resource firm, and she discovered that she was slapping people or something, or she slapped her boss or something because she was angry. And, she slapped someone, and and she discovered the either a guy or a lady likes to sing. And I said, since you know your weakness, why not just hire a manager, sing everywhere, sing in burials, in birthdays, and the likes. So it's as good as, instead of it would be better for him to be an employee of labor, to go and do his own thing instead of working on himself, to overcome that weakness. Then when he's done overcoming, then he goes back into the market. So I just feel that, okay, with the question I had, I said, you discovered that you've been having conflict with people. Can you say that, okay, let me not work for anybody, let me just work for myself and become an employee of labor? Is that a good place to sit, or you work on yourself and when you feel you're done with it?
Okay, you know what? A lot of people think that they use the story of I can't work for anybody, I don't want anybody to be bossing me around as a perfect excuse for thinking they should be self-employed. But guess what? Even if you work for yourself, are you your own customer? So the customer that you work for, who is that? Your boss. Let's call a spade. The person that you work for, the lady who is singing, or the man who is singing, whoever it is, if you go and sing and the person that is having the event is like, what kind of nonsense song are you singing? And you say, why are you talking to me? I said, what do you mean? Aren't I paying you to work? And you slap the person. It's the last time you will sing for anybody around there. Because all you need to do is do it once, twice, 3 times. By the time somebody mentions, they say that one, forget it. You see, you can have the best talent in the world. If you don't have character, integrity, and discipline, you will destroy the talent. So understand this, that if you know you have a weakness, work on it. Do you understand? Now, what I believe Mr. Balogo is saying is find the space where you can best accommodate your weakness whilst you're in process. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's really about, first, you admit to yourself what the problem is, and 2, you make the choice to deal with it. And I can't see any babies in this house. There are adults here. And the honest truth is, you live by your decision. Yes, you can have a challenge in the process, which is fine, but there must be a will and a determination to make the necessary change for what you want to achieve. You cannot indulge yourself and use a weakness as an excuse. Like, there's nothing I can do, this is the way I am. If the way that you are does not conform to societal acceptance, something is wrong. And if you want to progress, then you deal with the way you are to achieve the results that you need. Who teaches any woman that gets married? They say, it's the way I am. Okay, go to your mother-in-law and slap her in the morning. Mama, I don't take nonsense from anybody, including you. You don't talk to me anyhow. Slap anybody that talks to me, slap your mother-in-law. Do you understand what I'm saying? So whatever it is, deal with it, work on it, ask God. Luckily, if you're a Christian, you're not alone. You have help. Ask God to help you. Pray about it and submit yourself to learn it and to people around you to encourage you. Isolate yourself from situations like that. If you know that you get angry quickly and you can resort to physical combat, once you see the anger begin to well up, go and lock yourself in the toilet. No, I'm serious. Take yourself away from the situation by choice. Lock the door of the toilet until you calm down. Most times, the things that you're ready to kill people over, when the moment has passed and you look back at it, you ask yourself, what was that even all about? Because the thing that was firing you up would have lost its substance. And then you realize it was not such a big deal after all. Do you understand what I'm saying? Really, I have a rule. When I'm really angry, I do not talk. Not talk at all. Why? Because my husband and I are married for life. This is the fact. Now, do I really want to break up my marriage for anything? No. So if he annoys me, and I think there's a risk I might just say something I shouldn't say, I will not speak. I will wait until the time and the moment has passed. Because first I deal with the fact that my reality is, this is my home, and I intend to keep it. And since I have no choice, that moment will pass. When my head is clean and clear, I will take the lesson from it and have a sane conversation. If any of my siblings, and I'm telling you the truth, if any of my siblings offend me, I don't talk. Why? A friend of mine asked me of recent. I said, look, can I make my sister not my sister again? She said, no. I said, hey, so this is a cord that is tied for life. It cannot be broken. I don't have a choice in this matter. The only choice I have is to decide, do I still want her to be my sister? Yes. I don't even have a choice. Even if I denounce her, she's my sister. Matter of fact. Now, as long as I know that this relationship cannot be broken, there's no point destroying it. And therefore, the thing that have happened that can destroy it, I can afford to let it go. And after a while, you will realize that you don't feel as bad as you felt on day one. And you will almost continue like nothing ever happened. Why? Because it's an unchanging relationship. And in life, people say, why do you discount? I said, look, I can work with anybody. Why? I have learned to discount things. Why do you discount things? When I look at me, I'm not a perfect human being. So when I look at like house helps or drivers, I look at what their strength is. If your strength is enough for me, I live with your weakness. As long as that strength is useful to me and is enough for me, your weakness is what I've chosen to discount. Which means that once that weakness shows up, I know you and the weakness. And on the day that I really need to, I penalize you and the weakness without isolating you. And you will find that you'll have workers that work for you forever. You'll have relationships that never, because in life you soon realize many things that we think they're important and for which we cause a lot of rancor, they're not. Believe me. Alright? Okay, next question.
My name is Dideolu. My question is, I read law in school, in Malaysia, and about 2 years ago, I discovered that I'm a movie critic, and what I criticize most of the time in the movies is the makeup, the props of the makeup. You know, you're supposed to have cancer, and then you wake up the next morning and you look all bright and shiny. So I told myself that I was going to go to study creative makeup. So I went to the London College of Makeup and I learned creative makeup. So now my question is, my mom, she wakes up in the middle of the night and she taps me and she says, Dideolu, you know, this is really not what you want to do for the rest of your life. And I'm like, you know, I don't know how to deal with that, because she guilt trips me. She's like, your dad passed, and because my dad passed about 2 years ago, and you know, he passed thinking that, oh, she's practicing, she's a lawyer, and you know, she's doing well. And then all of a sudden I'm stepping out and I'm like, oh, what I want to do now is movie makeup. So she doesn't understand it, and I don't know how to convince her that, you know what, this is what I really want to do. I want people to sit down, watch Nigerian movies and be like, oh, I connect to the fact that she has cancer, or I connect to the fact that this person has a broken leg or something.
I get the question.
I don't know how to, you know, convince her that this is what I want to do.
I mean, all of us have to deal with that on a good day with the parents. You know, I'm a rebel when it comes to stuff like that. I always say that there's only one person accountable for one life. That's you. That's the honest truth. Now, our parents romanticize the idea of what their children should be. And they all have this dream in their head, which is fair, because now we're parents of adult children, so we understand what that means. But the honest truth is, what she's saying is out of love and concern, because she's thinking about you and the long term. And then, obviously, she thinks there's more honor and dignity in a lawyer. You know what I mean? And you are a lawyer, because nobody can take that away from you. That's it. You've qualified, so it's not about not being able to be a lawyer. Now, the other thing is how do you show your mom the numbers? Because it's really about the bottom line. Tara is a lawyer, but Tara is in makeup and cosmetic business. But we should show your mom Tara's turnover. I'm chairman of Tara's company, so I know the numbers. We should show her Tara's numbers and show her pictures of the chairman of Maybelline or any of those world makeup companies coming to knock at Tara's humble office in Lekki, looking for platforms to partner with her for cosmetic platforms across this region. And then you understand that it's a different game. But our parents don't understand it yet. So it's nothing to kill them about. It's something to encourage them. Do you understand? And show them the numbers. Now, the easiest way right now would be to keep saying to your mommy, don't worry, mommy. You know, I'm smart, I know what I'm doing, and all that. I'm already a lawyer anyway. So if everybody asks you, what does your daughter do? Ah, she's a lawyer. And she just leave it like that. Turn it into a joke. So she's happy. Now, the problem begins when you need to go to her to ask for money because you can't survive on your own doing what you say you are doing. So we also need to be sure that even though you like this idea, are you practical in terms of business with the idea? Because that's another thing. You can have the skill, but are you in business? Two different things. Okay, so I'm asking you a direct question. You are. Okay, what's your turnover in your month?
I did normal 9 to 5, but I get Mondays off, so I just started last year. But so far, my turnover has been about 3 times my salary in a month for a month strong. I know.
So really, that's really where it starts from. You know, your 9 to 5 job, is that in the cosmetic business or in law practice? Oh, you manage Incubator here. So does she like the fact that you're managing the Incubator here? It has a status. Okay. She has no problem with that. Okay, so it's a start. You see, but even though you still have this job, keep remembering to tell your mom that, do you know how much I'm making a month doing this thing? Show her the numbers. Until it gets to the point where there's respect in it. And it's really about how you structure it. Because to her, you won't have an office. If you want to do it well, you can have an office. It depends on how you structure it. Creative, cosmetic, or whatever it is you call it, is different from just regular makeup. And the entertainment industry is one of the fastest growing sectors in Nigeria and will be for a long time. And the economic indices within that industry has not even started. We're only scratching the surface at the beginning of it. So to be where you are right now is to be rightfully positioned. But to be really rightfully positioned, you need to structure yourself and build credibility within the industry such that you become the reference point. And you can create like training programs and stuff and all of this. So keep sharing your vision with your mom every day. And then when there are movies that you made the person on, show her. Yeah.
On Saturday, I made some of them up.
Yeah.
And one of them got 3 awards. The lady who did the flower girl, I don't know if Michelle, she got about 3 nominations and 2 awards. And when she came up, I'm like, Mommy, I did her makeup. And I had to drag her. I'm like, Mom, come and see. She wants awards. Yeah, I did her makeup. She was like, okay.
Slowly but surely. Listen, you see, part of the problem is we're boxed into certain jobs, but the world has changed. They're entirely new industries. They're businesses our parents have never heard of before. And they can't even begin to imagine it. But go and ask Wizkid's mother if she's proud to be Wizkid's mother now. But the question is, was she at the beginning when a little boy insisted what he wanted to do was sing? It's dropouts from school that sing. That's what most parents will tell you. Davido's father is an extremely wealthy man. But that's all the boy wanted to do. He ran away from school in America to come to Nigeria to take part in the music industry. At the end of the day, his father has accepted that, okay, this is what you will do, and has now supported him with everything that he has. Slowly but surely. But information is key. You need to keep educating parents consistently with love, not condemnation. Not saying, Mom, you don't know anything, what? No. Just keep doing it over and over again. Show them the numbers. When they see the numbers, it becomes, you can bring honor to the industry that you work in. It's about the way you conduct yourself. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for this conference. My name is Bola Wadewaki. Director. Okay, so my question is based on decision making. I'd just like to state all the reasons why I have a problem making some certain decisions. I thank God because where I am right now, I've seen myself from secondary school up until this point that God placed me in certain places to learn certain things that will guide future decisions that we'll make. And like Nene, I'm also a very restless person. And
As I am.
one of the speakers put up a slideshow about rule breakers. I'm a rule breaker. I'm a weird person. I'm a different person. But my kind of weirdness, okay, like one of the things that I love to do is musicals. So I'm thinking this idea that one day in Nigeria, I'm going to start off Broadway in Nigeria. I'm going to do something good in Broadway. And everyone's like, huh? What's that? I'm also saying that, okay, I love to cook. So I want to be a chef, but I'm not a caterer. I'm not a retired, I'm not a retired Nigerian woman. I started work. I'm sorry. That's what I think. So I'm a chef. I want to do more private work. I don't want to work in a restaurant. I don't want to work in a hotel. It sounds too boxed up for me. I want to be flexible in the way I make my menu. Okay, so there's so many of all these things, and also the ideas of volunteer work, community service, and all these kind of things. And I'm really doing well in all these things. Presently now I work, so I'm doing really well in all these things in my mind. But there are times at night when I sit down, I'm like, okay, do I really need to decide that it's one thing I need to do? Or can I really excel in all these things and do well and have, I forgot what she called it, commendum or something like that. Commendum, have the pile up and people see that, yes, he has really achieved something at this particular age. So that's the question.
Is that the question?
Yes. Do I really need to decide that it's one thing that I will have my fulfillment in, or can I do all these things and really still do well in life?
Okay. Well, I can tell you can do many things. We're restless serial entrepreneurs, so that's why we can laugh and smile. But it's one thing to have ideas. It's one thing to dream dreams. It's another to organize yourself in a way that you can deliver them. Because it's in delivering them that you can have the compendium of activities or life as it is. What do? I'm a carpenter. So I have all these companies within the furniture sector. 3 covering furniture, 1 covering security systems. I sit on the board of how many different places, different industry doing different things. I have AGDC, which is youth development and all of that. I do Christian Missionary Fund. I'm a pastor, I'm a mother, and I'm a wife. So, frankly, at the end of the day, when you sit down and look at it, you can do all the things that you want to do. It's in the order that you do them and how you organize yourself to deliver on them. Now, can you do all of them in one go to start? No. Because you see, as you build up in stages, okay? First, you use one platform to prove yourself. That platform shows that you can deliver. It shows you have capacity to create value. It shows you can change things, you can be committed, and you can be diligent. Now, once you do that, it gives you credibility with spreading to other things. And you find that even as you do that, as you move along to other things, you're also building capacity around you, which means there are other people picking up the slack around you. People doing part of your jobs for you, but your vision is still going. Because when we say you do a compendium of things, you only do it because you have a lot of Aaron and Oz holding your arms. That's the truth. So you need to build integrity with a core. And you leverage on the core to build the other things. But as you do that, you must realize it's not about you. It's going to be about the vision that you're driving, and you will get the right help along the way to help you continue to build. So everything that you think of doing is not even for you anyway. That's the one thing. You also must have the wisdom and the grace to sort through, to pick the things that are ideal for you or that you have capacity and strength for. That for some people is difficult, but it shouldn't be. Because when you test out with your core, you discover a lot more about yourself, and it helps you to sort through the crowd. Do you understand? Or the noise of your ideas, to begin to pick the things, and you would find somewhere along the line that kind of relationships between the things that form the compendium of your life. They're linkages, and it's only when you build with patience that you can move from one to the other naturally, because they add value to themselves. Okay? Seems like I'm repeating exactly what she said.
All the time, for giving me the opportunity to pour out my mind. Actually, I just have to say something that has been bothering my mind for past years. When I raised my hand, I wanted to say something. At the point, I just asked myself, this is what I want to say. Did I really want, if I should say, will it really make sense to people? But the reason why I wanted to say it because when I came in, I wanted to sign in. I saw the registry book and I saw a lot of sitting there, economics and all that. And I look at myself, my own case is different and just well. Everybody here is a graduate and all that. When I finished secondary school, I had mind to go to school, graduate early and all that. But about 3 or 4 times I gained admission, there was nobody to sponsor and all that. So with the time I engaged myself in working activities and all that, the ability to really pass the exam is not much as there. So I involved myself in different kind of programs just to upgrade myself in daily job and all that. So at the point I found myself doing a particular job and particular things I do. I knew that this thing I'm doing, I didn't learn it from anybody. That's what my brother just said. I'm a baker, I cook, I do a lot of things with flour. But one thing I just found out that this place I go to work, I don't even struggle to do things on my own because I don't find out that I do it excellently and I've not gone to catering school one day to learn how to do all these things and all that. But the thing here is that each time I go out and I go ask you, what do you do? What is your this thing? I try to explain myself. What do you look at it? You look as if you're already terminated yourself and all that. So sometimes I will be kind of shy to open up to people. This is what I do for living and all that. And for sometimes, each time I really want to go out to look for a job or to say to people that I really want something better from what I'm doing, and you look at it, okay, what is your qualification, what do you do, and all that. If I want to open up to say I'm a cook or I'm a chef and a baker, you look at it, maybe you are not.
Okay, let me get to the bottom of this. Are you a cook or a baker?
I'm doing both.
Okay. Do you work?
I work right now.
Where do you work? In a home or in a restaurant? Or
in a restaurant.
You work in a restaurant.
Yes.
And you deliver cooking and baking.
Yes.
There's nothing to be shy about. You know, the thing is, we have a problem as a country. And our problem is, we have overrated certificates. Let me tell you, see all those your university certificates, they are useless. Once you collect the certificate at the gate of your university, that's where it ends. The other value you have for it is for your parents. Give it to them. For all the school fees that they pay, they can have paper to show something. That's all. Believe me, it's worth nothing. It is worth nothing. But unfortunately, what we're doing by doing that is destroying people like this. The reality of it, see, some of the guys are working. In fact, in one of my factories in particular, where we make the office seating, some of them don't even have O levels. Some of them have O levels. But some of those guys have been to the south of France, lived there for months on end for training, had good life in the house with swimming pool and everything, have performance reward of going to Dubai and coming back. And the salary they earn, they'll pay the salary of some graduates that work in some companies for about 3 or 4 times. It's true. There are graduates that earn 15,000 in this town. There are graduates that are on 20,000. I think it's the list of some of those guys on the assembly line who are good at what they do earn anything between 70-something thousand to about 100 and something thousand. And 5% of the profit of the company at the end of the year is shared between only 36 people working in that factory. But they create hundreds and hundreds of millions in turnover value. So you can imagine what their bonus sharing is at the end of the day. But the work that they can do, if I take a graduate of engineering of something, first and foremost, he will take the job because he thinks he's too smart or he's too important, already above that job. So he'll be carrying his certificate around looking for work that he will not find for a long time. It's true. Let's be honest. The reality is we have created a social problem because in any country, the largest workforce is in the middle cadre. And that middle cadre does not need a certificate to live a good life. See, I'm doing some construction work in England. Skills. The guys who are working on my projects in the UK for me charge per hour. Hey! I can sit down and look at the bills. How? The guy who comes to regulate just the heater and said something is wrong with it, call out, you finish his £100. £100 is 25,000 naira at least. Just to come out and do, because he's a certified plumber or certified electrician or this. The real workforce, you see all those bricklayers that you look down on, they earn more than you. The guy who does tiling in my house, the first time I met him, he was just a Togolese man that was doing what? The next time I saw him some years after, totally too strong. Packaged and doing jobs, whole buildings, had like 10 boys, moves them around, organize everything, bring his iPad and show you movement. But I'm serious. By the time he finishes, what? The guy is charging you what? Like 2,000 naira or something per square meter. He will say sand, cement and everything included. Which sand and cement and everything included. And his workforce, they sleep on site, they do everything. Bulk of the money is going to the man's pocket. But I need him, and he gets the job done. He will build houses before many graduates will rent their first flat. Let's call a spade a spade. The honest truth is, if you've already gone to school, pocket the advantage that you went to school. Okay. So you can say I'm a graduate. Good for you. But guess what? If it doesn't deliver naira and kobo, it's a useless certificate. So you need to find how to create real value. And real value is in productivity. And it's productivity that returns naira and kobo. Now, that somebody will look down at you. No. Nobody can look down at you except you look down at yourself. It starts from how you look at you. It's not about the degree. Can you deliver on the food? Can you deliver on the baking? When they ask, what do you do? I'm a baker. What do you do? I'm a cook. What do you do? I'm a chef. Chefs are stars abroad. Do you understand what I'm saying? And when they see you, what you see, Yoruba people say, you really see me. Do you know what that means? It's about how you carry yourself. Be a cook with an attitude. Do you understand? You walk into a place, they get, I'm a carpenter. When people ask everywhere, what do you say? I'm a carpenter. It became a real joke. But it is, I'm truly a carpenter. I'm the child of the carpenter. Jesus the carpenter. Yeah. And I eat off the business of carpentry. And frankly, if it looked dishonorable to somebody before, because like in the early days when I was starting, I was a graduate attempting to manufacture furniture. A lot of my friends went straight to work in the bank. It was more decent to pack their suit and everything. And in nowadays, as we're graduating school, if you got a bank job, you buy a Dideolu the next month. As they were buying the Dideolus, I was still running around Amu Market with my carpenters and all of that, looking for a way to work. But ultimately, who is smiling now? Let's be honest. Bottom line is, there is value in what you do. You must create the honor, the dignity, and the respect for the place that you're creating value. Never be ashamed or embarrassed about what you do. Because what you do, they can't do. I can't make it. And if you're a cook here, in my house, my cook is very important too. Why? How can I come here and be talking to you now? I better be home. I should have started planning what dinner will be and start thinking about it. Because it's somebody else's headache. It's not my headache. My driver is really important. Why? Because if I have to deal with the steering, considering how many places I've been to in Lagos today and rain and traffic and everything, I will think twice about accepting to come here and cross one part of it. So once you begin to understand the role of people in your life, we will begin to respect different jobs and positions that people hold. And for all of us, as we bring that honor and we bring dignity of labor, more people will be comfortable doing what they do well. And there's a lot you can do with the food. Do you know how many millions caterers collect in this Lagos every weekend? Do you know the economy of parties in Lagos? Who are the people that you think are collecting it? How many of you here will marry without baking? Put up your hand. Maybe there's wedding cake. As long as you are marrying, it's making money. As long as you have birthdays, it's making money. As long as your children have parties, it's making money. Never be ashamed of what you do.
First of all, I would say a lot of people have actually called me a young entrepreneur because right from me too, I've always started selling. Like, for example, when I was still in secondary school, my mom would probably buy me a t-shirt, singlets, and socks. And people would be like, oh, can I like this? And I told my mom, okay, everybody like what I'm wearing, I want to start selling. So from there, she would come to Lagos, shop, and then I'll sell to them in school. And then she was like, okay, I don't need to be giving you pocket money since you're already making business. So I had that mentality, and it's something I've always been following until now. But I had to go for my master's to do public health because I kind of like asked volunteer to do the sexual health thing. And I was just like, okay, that is what I want to do. But at the same time, even when I got back, I was like, okay, it's not easy getting that health job because that was what I found passion in doing. And a lot of people are like, you've always had this mindset for business, why don't you just go into that and focus on that? But I'm like, okay, business is something I want to be fetching me a daily income, but I need to also build myself up. And if this is what I've gone to study, I really need to work on that. And looking at, I've never worked with public health at all because I have chemistry from my undergraduate and public health master's. But everything I've always done, I've worked in the bank, and over there in the UK, I've had experience with working with customer service. Even if I get an interview to do other jobs, if they see that in me, I'm going to tell you your best doing the customer service role. And I've had offers to go into diamonds and school marketing. I'm like, okay, I don't just want to pick up any job because I feel I need a job instantly. Right now, I'm a little bit confused, either to develop myself more in the customer service area or to go more into public health.
Problem solved. Can we go home? One more person wants to just
say about what she said is that
speaking of,
a lot of the time also we're in a box.
yes, speaking of,
There's so much going on, there's so many things you can do with whatever it is you have.
yes,
Honestly.
options.
There are HMOs all over the place who would love you, who understands public health,
Yeah.
but who can also
They
market.
can't find out a few people in public health anyway.
Who can market.
Who can market, yes. And you're a rare combination of both. So,
Anyway.
sorry.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Margaret Katego.
Okay.
I'm Kenyan. I'm flag star. I'm sorry, I have to refer because
It's time code.
yeah, it's a third nation that we are family. We are like second to Nigerians in entrepreneurship. But for me, I don't entrepreneurship is not for me. But for reasons just not to me. So I've been in Nigeria for 6 months now because my husband was here. I'll admit that it has been very difficult for me to venture to get a job. Not because I've not tried, but because all the places I've tried have not responded to me or something like that.
What's your field?
My field is customer service not by training, but by being in that field.
Okay.
By training in economics. But I've come to like customer service because over the years I've been like the go-to person. Where I used to work, they have problems with customers and something like that. So in other words, what I'm trying to ask is how do you get into the Nigerian market with all the numbers? I know the population is large, and I know the opportunities are limited. How do you get into the Nigerian in somewhere around? Yeah.
Okay, so talk to her. You know, Mrs. Balogun is HR consultant. So all the companies send the list of all the people they want to employ to her. She finds them for them. She might just have the position for it. Okay. But you see, just something she said while the other lady is coming. No, it's fine. I'm even happy to take the questions. But you know, she said something like, "Oh, Nigerians, there are many people, but the opportunities are limited." The opportunities are not limited. Don't lie to yourselves, and don't let anybody lie to you. The opportunities that you are looking at, that everybody is looking at the same opportunity, is what is limited. Because we've created a box. Beyond the box of everybody wants to go and work in First Bank, GT Bank, Diamond Bank, and blah, blah, blah. You want to go and work in Glow, in Etisalat, or any of those things. And then after that, where are those companies that you all want to go and work? Shell, Chevron, and all of those. Has it ever occurred to you that the total number of people that work in that entire sector I was even going to be generous, that you cannot find 1 million people that work there. If you can even count 500,000, I think you'll be amazed. But most people don't realize it. So when you all face the same direction, you are hitting your head against the wall. That's the honest truth. And there are many companies that pay better than them. There are many companies that pay. There's a young lady that I mentored through the process. And who first inspection, when they want to jump in the bank. Okay, great. So we got a job in GT. After 6 months, she came and said, "I don't want to work there again." I said, "Shema, you wanted to work in the bank now?" She said, "We got the job." She said, "No, I don't want to work there again. I want to work in FM and whatever, FMCG industry and all of that. I can't be closing as late and blah, blah, blah." Anyway, we found a job at GSK. And then she went to GSK. And after a few years, but by the time she found the job at GSK, she was surprised to see that even though she was resuming work at 8 and closing at 4:35, her salary was more than her salary at GT. Now, having worked at GSK for about 3 years, one of the global consumer product company just came into Nigeria, was looking for a management position for sales and marketing across West Africa. And just that line of profile, which is all her doing, is all her job experience, qualify her for that job. But a lot of people are boxed in these small industries. Worst working hours, salaries that you think they are fat but they are not. Calculate the salary in terms of per minute of your life and the per minute of time that you spend doing those jobs, and you see they actually pay you less than you do. There are opportunities. You just have to look wider afield and look at areas you might not look at. And also, it's not all about multinationals and big companies. There are a lot of medium-sized companies that pay well and will offer you opportunities and career. Even if that is where you start from, start there and build a track record and then transfer it as you go along.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's not all about money.
Yes.
That, a lot of times you go into a place and you learn.
Yes.
Just go in there and learn for 2-3 years. And just like you said, an opportunity then comes and it sets you on fire. Now, there's some places where you get paid very much when you first start, but you never learn anything, you never grow, and when they're tired of you, they retrench you.
Yes.
What is that law talking? How
learn mass communication. And in the bank, sometimes they have, if you are not into that field, they cannot employ you into that field. So you have to have that in hand first. And that's what I'm looking at.
Okay, so basically what you're looking for is a marketing job. Next time, you don't resign from the bank if you're in one area and you have interest in another area that banks employ is not for. What you do is whilst you're at that job, you target a marketing job in another bank using where you are in the bank as the platform. It's always easier to go from one institution to another than from outside into an institution.
Mrs. David Bora was here. And she says that, look, their bank, they want to grow quickly.
Yeah.
Now, what are they looking for? They're not looking for people who studied economics. They're looking for people who can sell coal to them in Enugu, where coal comes from. So really, that sort of thing, in a day like this, if I were you, I would have taken that and put it in one hand. And gone to look for IBTC tomorrow morning. For what? Go to an IBTC tomorrow morning and say that their MD was somewhere yesterday and say that you can sell snow to them in North America. Yeah? So that's what I would advise you to do. But if you're looking for a marketing job, it's not a problem. You see, a lot of times again, we don't know how to look for work. We don't know how to look for work. We are just going around saying, I'm looking for work, I'm looking for work. What I would have done if I were you is to first of all say, where do they need people who sell? Yes. They need them in telecoms, they need them in manufacturing, they need them, streamline this. Yes, make a short list. Where do they need them?
And target them.
And that's just it. And if you say that you're a marketer, you should be able to get yourself a job. Because you should be able to, I've gotten a job before by walking in there and telling them that I am really the person that you're looking for. And they thought, why? And I gave them 2 or 3 visits and I got a job. I'm not saying it's as easy as that, but I'm just saying that you're never going to get a job by sitting around and feeling sorry for yourself and saying you are looking for a job. You must actually get up and do it. There's just one last person. Okay, just one. Because we were doing very well for time, but we're still doing well for time. Can you imagine we've had 17 speakers today?
In one day.
In one day.
All right.
My name is Aditi. I want to ask, most of the things I came a bit late. So what I want to find out from you is that I look up to you as a business. And I feel definitely you have gone through some obstacles at each stage trying to develop a private company. So I would like, for me, at this crossroad, I just qualified as a dentist. So I'm at this crossroad, I'm trying to make up my mind whether to just go fully professional or just go into entrepreneurship and then should I just mix? But for me, I still have some hurdles I have to skip anyway, but I have this to do it. So if I'm going to go into business, what are the things I should expect as the obstacles, the problems that I meet, or what do you meet when you're trying to build business?
Well, there will always be challenges, that one I can assure you. And it doesn't end. I can tell you, the obstacles change depending on the level where you are and depending on the season and the time and the environment at that point in time. So frankly, it's not about, my learning might not even apply to yours. It depends on what line of business that you want to go into. Industries, a lot of it can also be industry specific. There's some things that are general. If you're talking about like funding and all of those kind of things, but that's always about how you approach what you want to do. There's all, the Bible says, do not despise the days of humble beginnings. So you can always test out your theory in a small way in order to know what you can do. Or you have a goal as to what you want to do in business, but you have a skill that can earn you income because you're a dentist. And you build on the dental career, but having a long-term goal for a particular business, and you're saving up capital from your dental work towards what you want to do for the long term. So you have all of those kind of things, or business in dentistry, because you can be a business person in dentistry without operating as a dentist. You can service the dental industry. Because you're a dentist, you will understand their needs better. You can sell to them on a level by level because you're talking as a professional, and nobody can look down on you because you are a dentist as well. So You might need to get out of the box in terms of what can I do with dentistry. You can't be removing other people's students. No. You can sit down and decide that I want to sell, what are the accessories that the dentists need? What are the things that are useful within the dental industry? Whether to consumers or to operators. Do you understand? And when you do all of those things, you still have normal business issues. How do you raise the kind of funding? How do you sell it? How do you manage your stock? How do you do all of those things? How do you get the right manpower that can help you to sell something that is otherwise technical and all of those kind of things? So it's really about what area you want to play. I would say, ask yourself, what would you prefer to do morning, afternoon, or night? Okay? Never, it's only what you're willing to do. As I always put it, what are you willing to do that? Yes, do for free or die doing. Usually, that's something that will bring out the best in you. Because it means even if nobody is paying you for it, you will enjoy doing it. And it also means that when you encounter the problems that will definitely come in business, because you love what you do, there is enough substance within you to be creative to solve the problems that you will encounter. Because in business, you need commitment, you need doggedness, you need flexibility, because you might think this is the way to go, and when you get there, you find out you're totally wrong. And you must be humble enough to accept your mistakes and still move on, or learn from everybody around you. So you also have to be a team player. Oh, I don't like doing things with people, I like doing things on my own. You can't make business. But frankly, there's only so far that you can go on your own. You are going to work with people. You're going to have, whether they're customers or your staff, you're going to have to deal with people. And you have to deliberately develop good human relationship because you're dealing with people. I'm not good with numbers. That's not such a big deal these days because you can pay somebody to do your numbers, weekly or monthly or something, and all of those things. At least you can add some to your dentist who I'm sure is a human bit of that. So that should help you. So in terms of problems in business, there are problems. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. And the problems will come. As you are growing, you have bigger problems. Because somebody's problem is 1 million. Toya's problem is 10 million. It's not like that, you see. So it's different problem. It depends on the ratio of where you operate. Everybody's problem is different. But as for problems, they're part of business. But we don't consider them as real issues because as you overcome the problem, it actually creates value for you. Generally, because every problem you will encounter, somebody else will encounter. The guy who solves the problem is the one that moves ahead of the pack. So that's not the issue. Problem in business is not enough to keep you away. It's about, do you have the stomach for it? Or some don't. Some don't like wahala. If you don't like wahala, just go and take a job. And live with the job till you retire. That's fine. If you like to take risks, okay, then you can attempt to. And you must also be able to handle failure. There's a lot of people want to go into business, but they don't understand what it is to fail. How many times have you failed before? That's it. Because in business, you learn from your failures. We don't even call them failures. They're your experiences. They're the things, the hurdles you have to overcome. But they're the things that show you which way not to go. And then you can go. And some of what people call failures are the things that are the stepping stone to the right place where you succeed. So those are part of the things that you have to learn as a business person. I can't teach you all about business in 5 minutes.
Praise the name of God.